Hi everyone, this is Mary and welcome to Super Skills for Grownups. In our next session with the kids, we're going to be talking about the letter L, how to make it, straighten that one out, what it sounds like, and our word of the week is going to be lion. And because of that, our book of the week is going to be Lion Lessons by Jon Agee. And the activity we're going to do is going to be making a lion head. So lots of cutting practice in this one. We'll talk about how to do that in just a minute. So first thing is going to be our book of the week. Jon Agee is one of my favorites. This is a book about a little boy who would really like to be fierce like a lion. And so he takes some lessons in how to do that. Okay. Another book that I like by Jon Agee is called, this is an older one. It's called The Incredible Painting of Felix Clouseau. And it's about an artist whose paintings might not seem very sophisticated, but they actually have a special power. They can do things that other paintings can't. And that leads to a lot of adventures. Okay, so Agee's books are always funny, they're always wry, the pictures are very lively, and there's lots of twists and surprises in them. They're great books not to rush through, but to take your time with your child. Some other ones that I like are that I use in I use this one in story times a lot. It's called I Want a Dog. It's about a little girl who goes to an animal shelter looking for a dog, and the manager of the animal shelter tries to sell her on a lot of other options that aren't a dog. And that leads to an unexpected ending. And let's see, another book with a surprise ending is called It's Only Stanley, also about a dog named Stanley and his family. And Stanley keeps them up all night, initially because he's howling at the moon, but then later he seems to be engaged in a lot of sort of tasks around the house. And there's a kind of a question about what he's up to, and the family makes some assumptions about that. And as you progress through the book, there are some clues in the pictures that what the family's thinking Stanley's up to may not be what he's up to. Okay, so I really like this book because it's fun, it's entertaining, and it also gives the kids a lot to think about because the pictures, you know, we're used to pictures in picture books reinforcing the words for young children. These sometimes kind of work against the words and give the kids a mystery or a puzzle to think about. And for that reason, these are picture books that are probably best for kids starting about age 4 and continuing through, you know, second grade. There's a lot to chew on with these books, so they're very long-lived. His most recent book, which I really like, is called The Wall in the Middle of the Book. And in this book, there's a wall runs down the middle of every single page. And there's a little character here who's very happy there's a wall here because he says it protects him from what's on the other side of the wall, which he feels is very dangerous. But as the book moves along, there are some clues in the pictures again that what he's assuming about which side of the wall is safe and which side isn't might not be accurate. And it's a great book about having your kids kind of look at the images, listen to the words, and see which direction the story is really moving in. But B, also to see whether assumptions about other creatures that look a little different from us may not always be justified. Okay, so that's some of the reasons I love Jon Agee. Now let's get on to our activity of the week. Our activity this week is our lion head. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what supplies you're going to need. A paper plate, some construction paper or heavier paper. If you don't have the colors I used, your child can color them. Okay, so I used some yellow and I just traced around a bowl to make a circle that's about the same size as the circle in the middle part of the plate. I have some black paper and some white paper for making eyeballs, which your child will use a glue stick to put together. I used the main colors I used are yellow, brown, and orange for my lion, but you know, any kind of lion-y colors are fine. I used, you can see the ears right here on the top. So for those, I just drew kind of a half circle, half oval on some yellow paper, slightly smaller on the brown paper, and that's what made the ears. And your child can cut these shapes out. They might have a little trouble with the eyes because those are small, and you may need to do those. I'm sure they can do the ears, and again, glue those together so you'll have 2 eyes and 2 ears. And then I did a series of just little strips. This is just a half piece of construction paper. So you'll probably need a ruler and a pencil and also a Sharpie, because I always, as you know, I think it's helpful to outline the shapes your child will be cutting with a thicker marker or a Sharpie so that they have a thick line to follow when they cut. So I made these are my smallest lion mane tresses. These are about an inch, a little more than an inch wide and 3 inches long. Then I made some orange ones that are 4 inches long, and I made some brown ones that are 5 inches long. And your child can cut those. If it's too much cutting, you can cut some of them. Or if your child is more at the snipping stage, you can have them snip the shortest ones and then just snip up, and you can do some of the cutting to separate them and pick up the slack on the others. And you also I have 8 of each color. You don't need that many. You can use however many you want. This is really kind of a free-form project. The other things you'll need are a craft stick or popsicle stick to make the holder, and your Sharpie to outline your cut lines. Your child can use some markers or crayons because he or she is going to draw on the little mouth and on the whiskers. And a child's scissors. You just need a little bit of tape to tape that craft stick or glue stick on. To me, tape works better than glue to get that pretty secure on there. And then a glue stick, or you can use school glue too. I had a hard time because my paper plates were sort of waxy. I had a hard time getting the glue stick to really stick. So I used school glue, and if your child has trouble squirting that out, you can put a little in a bowl and take a little brush, and they can use a brush to apply it. But I ended up using school glue for this part. I think that glue stick is probably better than the school glue I used around the edges of the face, but either one is probably fine. So what I did first was just put on the strips, partly overlapping, partly not, it doesn't matter. You can see a little of the plate down here. Just kind of staggered the lengths. And then I put the ears on, kind of up near the top, so your child can apply all of those. And then I put the face on, okay? After the round face was cut out of the yellow paper. And then, you know, put the your child can put the eyes on. Oh, there's a little black nose too that I just kind of freestyle drew on the black paper and cut that out. And then your child can draw the little mouth and the mustache or the whisker lines, okay? And they've got their lion. Good for decoration. They can play with it. The other thing you can do if you'd like with this project is, if you want to, you can just cut out this whole middle section of the plate, the round part, before you start, and then just put the lion mane tresses around the outside and just put the 2 ears on top, put the craft stick in the back, and then your child would have a lion mask where his face is the lion's face and the mane will stick out around the sides and the ears will be on the top. So that's the other option you can do with this. If your child would rather have a mask that makes him look like a lion than this lion face in the middle of the mane, you can do that. Okay, so I think, and the skills that this develops are, and your child's gonna need a scissors. Cutting skills, remember, thumb in the top hole, first 2 fingers in the bottom hole, elbow in, thumbs up is always the thing to remember when a child cuts. And if they keep the elbow in, that'll cause them to be less likely to flip that thumb down. So elbows in, gonna use those first 3 important fingers. And when they're holding the paper that they cut, they are also gonna be using these executive first 3 fingers, thumb and the first 2 fingers, to hold the paper. So they're getting pincer grip practice, they are getting bilateral coordination practice, visual discrimination skills practice when they're placing those tresses for the lion's mane and the features on the face, and some patterning practice if you'd like to have them pattern the colors they use, or you can just have them do it randomly. So several skills that are going to be reinforced with this activity, and hopefully they'll also have fun with the theme of a lion this week. Thanks very much. I hope you have fun with your child and have a good day.